Sergeant Melissa Warren had worn the badge for over 15 years. She was known in her small Texas town for her unshakable sense of justice, quiet compassion, and her constant partner, a loyal German shepherd named Shadow. Shadow wasn't just a K-9 unit dog, he was family. They had saved lives together, comforted victims, and walked the streets side by side every day. But nothing could have prepared Melissa for the day everything unraveled. It started with a routine call, a domestic disturbance in a remote farmhouse. Melissa and Shadow arrived first. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then a gunshot rang out. By the time backup arrived, one man was dead, another critically injured, and Melissa was found crouched beside Shadow, who had taken a bullet to the shoulder protecting a child. Melissa was arrested on the spot. The media erupted. The man who had died was the mayor's brother. Witnesses were conflicting. Some said Melissa had acted in defense. Others claimed it was murder. Her body cam had mysteriously malfunctioned. It was Melissa's word, against a system looking for someone to blame. Despite character witnesses, her clean record, and Shadow's loyalty, the trial was brutal. Her courtroom defense attorney, Carlos, fought hard. But the prosecution painted Melissa as a rogue cop, unstable, dangerous, and then the unthinkable happened. Melissa was sentenced to death. The entire courtroom gasped. Even the judge looked pained. The decision shook the community. Protesters flooded the streets, demanding justice. Not just for Melissa, but for Shadow, who was now in a county shelter, awaiting reassignment or euthanasia. But Shadow wasn't going to let that happen. The day Melissa was moved to death row, Shadow escaped. No one could explain how a wounded dog in a locked facility got out, but security footage showed him slipping through shadows, crawling through vents, pushing open doors with his nose. Somehow, he crossed 20 miles of wilderness, concrete and chaos, limping the entire way, and reached the high-security prison where Melissa was held. He howled at the gates. The guards laughed at first. But then Shadow sat and waited for hours, then days. One of the guards, a young woman named Hannah, took notice. Every morning and every night, Shadow sat by the same gate, rain or shine, just staring, ears up, tail still. "He hasn't moved," she said to her supervisor. "He knows she's in there." Eventually, local news picked it up. The loyal K-9 who waits. The story went viral. People from all over the world started asking, why would a dog risk everything for someone labeled a killer? What did he know that the court didn't? An animal behaviorist came on live TV. Dogs don't lie. If Shadow's risking his life, there's more to this story. Carlos, her lawyer, saw an opportunity. He filed a motion to reopen the case. This time, he brought new evidence. A little boy who had been too scared to speak during the trial. His name was Eli, 8 years old. He had been hiding under a bed during the entire incident. With trembling lips and Shadow at his side, Eli told the truth. The mayor's brother had come to hurt his mother. Melissa had begged him to put the gun down. Shadow had tried to intervene. The second man, the one injured, had tried to stop the shooting and was caught in the crossfire. Melissa had only pulled the trigger to protect them both. The courtroom was silent. Tears streamed down Melissa's cheeks. Shadow lay by her feet, his head resting on her boot. The judge overturned the verdict. Melissa was exonerated. Charges dropped. Her badge was restored. But more importantly, she was free. And so was Shadow. Their reunion outside the prison was broadcast live. Shadow leaped into her arms, despite the pain in his shoulder. She buried her face in his fur, whispering, "I knew you'd never give up on me." The town held a parade in their honor. Shadow received a medal from the governor. He became a symbol of loyalty and love, a dog who defied fate to save the only person who had ever truly been his home. Years later, Melissa retired. She and Shadow opened a rescue center called Second Chance Paws, where they trained shelter dogs to become therapy animals for veterans and abused children. Shadow, now graying, would lie on the porch, watching the world go by with calm, wise eyes. And whenever someone asked about the dog who saved her life, Melissa would smile and say, "He didn't just save my life, he saved my soul." Because sometimes justice doesn't come from the courts. Sometimes it comes on four legs, with a wagging tail and a heart that never gives up.